Good morning, folks, and welcome. This morning it's a demonstration of the Hacker Gondolair GP42 Gondolair record player and its companion piece, the Hacker AL42 add-on amplifier unit. This on its own is very capable, it's a very good record player, but with this it just takes it to a whole new dimension. So what we'll do, I'm using the slightly smelly and rough example because this is the last one I serviced. It's on the bench. They both sound the same, so it makes no difference. So let's get going and we'll see what we think.
Like a Philly shave. Round and round. Without a rotary action like the Philly shave. Round and round. Twist up and down and tilt like it's floating heads. Unique Philly shave. Twist here, twist there.
There's just a record player.
Philly shave.
Turn that down and there's the amp.
Whiskers go without a trace. This personal touch is so unique. Only Philly shave. It's made for every face by a new technique. Let's twist. Your face. Like the softest hand. Stubborn whiskers go without a trace. Whichever way they stand. Now this personal touch is so unique. Only Philly shave. And it's made for every face by a new technique. Well, now it's made to measure shaving with the Philly shave. Personal touch. Your top is stubble, don't worry, Philly shave. Personal touch. Here's the modern twisting shaving that a razor never gave. Shave smoother, quick eye, closer. With a Phillips. Round and around and around. With a Phillips. Round and around and around. I said a Phillips. Philly shave. Philly shave. Philly shave.
And there we have it. I've got to give it a rating, haven't I? You know, it wouldn't be me if I didn't give it a rating. I'll tell you what, I'm going to say it goes to 11. You know, like the Marshall amplifier out of Spinal Tap. Yeah, because it's a bit more than 10. I mean, that'd be 10 on its own, but with that, you know, it's got to be 11, and it just has to be. You know, and do I want one? Would I buy one? Yeah, absolutely. If the price was right, I mean, I wouldn't pay stupidly hundreds of pounds for one. You know, I'd probably go one for, you know, I'd probably go one for an amplifier and a record player or something. But I wouldn't pay, you know, I'd like to have one, but I don't want one that bad. But and these are the second pair that I did. Which are the more rougher out of the two, and the, you know, but the other, you know, they're exactly the same. I mean, I had these on the bench, so I just used these ones. I've made him some wires, some interconnect leads, so that he can connect them up, and they have got the proper long plugs on the end that goes into the record player itself. The end that goes into the amplifier from the record player, that doesn't matter. A standard jack will do that. Standard RCA for standard, or most people call them phono plugs. A standard RCA plug will do that. That's good enough for that. And as you've just heard, everything works absolutely well, and it does on the other one as well. I mean, the other one looks nicer, but for my ears, I think the tone on this record player is slightly better. But that just might be me. But there again, the other one does sound as though it would benefit from a new stylus. So there's that as well. And Phil even said that it could do with a new stylus. So, we already know that. But yeah, that's my conclusion. 11 out of 10. You're probably thinking you can't get 11 out of 10. Well, in my world, you can. As I say, brilliant pieces of kit. That on its own, can't see my finger. That on its own is brilliant. But having the extra amplifier just makes a difference. It's it just adds and improves. It adds another dimension. It adds and improves your listening pleasure. I would love to have one of these and sit and listen to albums on it all day. Really nice records, nice clear, clean records. I'd love to be able to. I'd love to do, and that's what Phil's gonna do. But keep an eye out, because you never know, he might offer one for sale, because he doesn't need two. I can't think why he would need two, but keep an eye out, because you never know. I don't know whether he is or not, but I know the best two he's keeping for himself. But I think he might, because he doesn't need two. So I think he might, one of these might even come up for sale, and they've been serviced. So, you never know. We'll have to wait and see what he decides. But I wouldn't blame him, to be honest, if he kept all of it. I wouldn't blame him if he said, no, I'm not selling any of them, I'm keeping them. But, definitely. I'll tell you a quick little story. When he bought this one here, he got this one off a car boot sale. The amplifier didn't come with that one, because that's why the amplifier's not nicotined up. But I'll tell you a little story. I'm sure Phil won't mind. Basically, what happened, he called to see a friend of his on his way home from the car boot sale, and he had this with him, the GP42, and his friend had a record on, and he said, if I remember rightly how Phil told me, he says he went in, he says, what did you get from the car boot sale? He said, got a record player. He said, what do you want one of them old record players for? What are you messing with them for? He says, so he says, I went to the car and I brought it in. He says, give us that record. He says, we plugged this record player in. He says, and my mate couldn't believe the sound. He says, I went, and apparently Phil went past his house the next night and found that his friend had put his stereo in the bin. Apparently he wants one of these now, and you can't blame him. He chucked his Chino Centre in the bin. Cheap Chinese music centre thing. He launched it, and that was it. I'm sure Phil won't mind me relaying that story on. But, I pissed myself laughing when he told me. I thought it was dead funny. But, yeah, really, really good. But, it's true, though, when you hear a record on something like this, it just reminds you, or if you already know it, if you've never heard one of these before, then it introduces you to the quality that was available back then. And they can't reach that level of quality now. I don't care what people say. They can't reach that kind of quality nowadays, I am going to do a video one night on Audio Fools. And yes, I didn't say it wrong. I actually meant Audio Fools. I'm going to do a video on them one night. And try and explain why a dickhead pays fucking... why a dickhead pays £200 more for the lead than what he paid for the amplifier. We'll see if we can get to the bottom of that. Oxygen-free cable. There's no such thing. Why? because oxygen is all around us. What did they do? Make the fucking leads in space. Anyway, folks, that's for another video. You all take care. Enjoy the video. Catch you later. Bye for now, folks.